Look at that view, the Losail International Circuit in Qatar. If you're just joining us, a very, very warm welcome from Qatar. It doesn't get much warmer than this, 40 degrees temperature. It's round 13 of the MotoGP World Championship 2004. I'm Matthew Roberts. Alongside me in the commentary box today, as always, Nick Harris. And down there, suffering in the heat in pit lane, is Gavin Emmett. And the big news that we have for you here today, before the start of this race, is that Valentino Rossi and Max Biaggi both start from the back of the grid after complaints that they tampered with their grid position. Through qualifying is of course only down one section of the starting grid, which is actually down the outside of the straight, which is the favourable position for pole position and all the riders behind that. But the riders in the middle and the outside of the track would have been on a dirty position, and it's Rossi's team who took it upon themselves last night, and Biaggi's team as well, to go out there and clean that spot on the grid. There was a complaint from the Repsol Honda team against Yamaha that they'd done that, and Rossi was consequently docked 6 points. That happened this morning. A couple of hours later there was further drama when Rossi's team
and then a third right-hander coming in succession. Very, very unusual in MotoGP. Short straight down to the left-hander, second gear. Getting back towards the start and finish. Again a little short straight, and then it's the bend that brings us back. Turn 16 into the start and finish straight here in Qatar. Second gear, good drive out of here, of course, absolutely essential. You're on the start and finish straight, over 200 miles an hour. That's a lap of the Losail International Circuit here in Qatar. It's an historic day here in Okay, yeah, it is a very, very big day for them.
On Thursday afternoon. Here we're with Troy Bayliss. That clean line, that's in the pole position spot, which is occupied of course by Carlos Checa, Nicky Hayden directly behind him, Ruben Schaus, and then Colin Edwards, as we heard from Colin, in 10th place, but he's in that clean line, that blue groove as the riders have been calling it, and that's not a bad position at all for Edwards. Now then, John Hopkins, he's got an empty spot in front of him because he starts from 11th on the grid, and the man in front of him, who was supposed to be in front of him, Valentino Rossi of course, has been penalised. He's been moved from 8th back to 21st, so
position on the grid, which is illegal. We've also got now the tyre selection from Michelin.
Welcome to Qatar. If you're just joining us, the 13th round of the MotoGP season sees Carlos Checa start on pole for the first time this year from Barros and Gibernau.
Row 2, Hayden, Lucano and Caparossi.
The big news on row 3, no Valentino Rossi. He qualified 8th fastest, but Rossi has been penalised for cleaning the spot on his grid, and Rossi will start from the back row.
Row 4, Colin Edwards, John Hopkins, no Max Biaggi. A similar problem for the Italian.
Makoto Tamada, Jeremy McWilliams and Neil Hodgson will though line up on row 5.
Row 6, Melandri, Abe and Alex Hoffman riding the cab, and Max Biaggi.
Just a word, but Neil Hodgson is starting from pit lane. He's just leaving now to join up at the back of the grid. Starting from pit lane, not sure what the problem is, but he gets away now.
Well, will that mean that Neil Hodgson will join this race from the back of the grid as well? It's going to be a busy old grid there, and I think if you'd have told James Ellison, who's riding the WCM here this weekend, for the second or third time this season, in fact, that he would be starting this race ahead of Valentino Rossi, Max Biaggi and Neil Hodgson on the grid, you'd have thought you were pulling his leg.
Right, we're on the warm-up lap. The MotoGP race here in Qatar is about to get underway. It's round 13 of the championship. But it's drama before the race even started, with Valentino Rossi having to start from the back row of the grid. Sete Gibernau, perhaps the only man that could challenge him for the championship. 39 points adrift. He starts from the front row. He was third fastest. It is a lifeline for Sete Gibernau. It's a race he really has to win. I just hope that Valentino Rossi has problems fighting his way through the field on this brand new track where overtaking is very, very difficult indeed. Fabulous helicopter shots of the new circuit. We now run on board. We'd have to qualify here this afternoon in the searing, fascinating battle we have here in Qatar. The first ever Grand Prix in the Middle East on two wheels. First ever Qatar Grand Prix. Sensation before the race has even got underway. Valentino Rossi, the world champion, the championship leader, will start from the back row. That front row, Carlos Checa, Alex Barros and Sete Gibernau. We've waited a long time for a race in the Middle East. The lights are on red. Qatar is underway.
Checa gets away well from pole position, but watch for the
The 125cc.
2003 version Ducati.
Comparatively short MotoGP career, certainly successful MotoGP career.
With 2 laps to go and a gap of over 2 seconds, if Schaus can keep this pace up, he will take his first start as Rossi. He was down in 18th place on the second lap, but Biaggi worked
on the. But this will be the most important victory he's ever achieved in a comparatively short MotoGP career, certainly successful MotoGP career. Runner-up in the championship last year. One would imagine he'd given up almost every chance of winning the title this year, but Rossi has crashed out of the race. If Gibernau wins, he'll be just 14 points down with 3 rounds remaining. Sepang next weekend, Phillip Island in Australia in 2 weeks' time, and then the final showdown, Valencia in Spain, in front of 150,000 fans in 4 weeks' time. Couldn't get better. Gibernau crosses the line. 1 lap to go. The gap, 1.9 seconds over Colin Edwards. Timing says 1.5.
Yeah, Colin Edwards has just taken half a second off Gibernau there, but geez, Gibernau slowing down really more than Edwards getting any faster. Edwards with the 159.592 and Gibernau going back into the 2-minute mark there, but he knows he's got that time to play with. And look at Schaus's team, they're screaming him on to 3rd place. Well, it was 2 weeks ago at Motegi where we saw similar scenes from the Kawasaki team celebrating their first podium of the season. This time it's Schaus's turn, and Dantin Ducati, what a story that would be. The privateer Ducati team, they've had so many problems this year with that 2003 version Ducati. It's really been hindered even further by the problems that the factory Ducati team have had, because the factory Ducati team have brought this new bike out that's completely different. So aside from the fact that Dantin's team have not been inheriting any parts, the factory are more concentrated on getting the 04 bikes even faster. So they've really struggled this year, Ruben Schaus and Neil Hodgson, and this podium will be just reward for all their hard work. But really, Nick, the story of the day is at the front of the pack. We're looking at Sete Gibernau take victory, and an
victory of the season. But more important, it's going to be a victory for the 31-year-old Spaniard, Sete Gibernau, here in Qatar. His 4th Grand Prix victory of the season. He's now just 14 points behind Rossi in the championship. What a day for the Telefonica movie star Honda team. Colin Edwards in 2nd place. Is Ruben Schaus going to bring...
Estamos con el ritmo necesario como para luchar. Michelin ha hecho un grandísimo trabajo, mi equipo, todos del primero al último, tengo que agradecer que han hecho el mejor trabajo de hace mucho tiempo, con muchísima presión. Gracias, Colin. Espero que donde estoy yo, cuando yo ya me haya ido, y le dedico esta victoria a mis padres, a mi padre y a mi madre. Un beso, espero que estéis bien en la casita.
Y 3 españoles en